Hey everyone, and welcome back to my devlog series. As you can see, I was on vacation for a while and the past few weeks weren't the most productive. I appreciate your patience, and from now on I'll make sure to update you guys a little more often. So quick recap of the last video, I worked on the interactions between the player and the objects, like opening a door and picking up items. But that wasn't enough. So this time, I worked on building an inventory system, which will be one of the two big mechanics of this game. To show you a simplified version of my code, I drew a diagram that shows how the system will work. First off, we have the interactable class, which defines the common behaviors of all the items, just like the exclamation point appearing over the head of the player. From there, we already have a door, and now I'll add some items that you can pick up and probably some weapons later on. Then I'll make the inventory, which contains the list of items the player has, and finally, the inventory UI class that will take care of displaying the items on the screen. A week of procrastination later, I finally started coding the inventory. I ran my first test with 2 different items and the inventory was working great. Wait, I forgot to let the player choose what item to hold, so I made an input manager which will be used to handle the inputs of the player. I had to call it a day after that because there was a surprise birthday party waiting for me. Okay, that's enough. Now that the inventory works, I used the good old copy paste to bring back the UI I already made and added a few more inventory slots to the screen. After doing a little bit of magic in my code and fixing bugs for a good 2 hours, we finally have the UI showing the player's items. But quite honestly, that item bar is pretty ugly. So I made it horizontal and it was already much better. I wanted the player to have a little more information on his items, so I added 2 labels to the slots. The first one will indicate the key to press to select that item, and the second one will be the name of the item. Much better. To end this episode, I wanted to be able to use an item to interact with an object. So I started by putting a temporary message box on top of the screen, and it will be used to show a message every time something happens. I proceeded by modifying the door's script to check if the player is holding a specific item. In this case, the player will need the stick to unlock the door. After another 20 minutes of debugging, the player is now able to interact with objects using the item they're holding. At this point, I hope you're not surprised about the bugs. I swear I know what I'm doing, guys. The last thing I wanted to do is add more objects to handle a full inventory. So I added a few more items all over the place, and as expected, it doesn't work. The issue with the logic here is that I want the player to hold the item he just picked up if he's not holding anything. But if he is, nothing should happen. The only exception is when the inventory is full. Then I want the player to replace the item he's holding with the item he's trying to pick up. There's the code to help you visualize this logic. If you made it this far, I thank you a lot for watching my video. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next episode.